Discord sets up your date. Written by Lise. You never had any luck, did you? A gray existence, a boring cycle of days and nights, no friends, no family, no romance. And here you are on the verge of death, a virgin about to pass on into the unknown.
What the bloody hell? Who are you? Why are you in my head?
You seem to have had an unpleasant accident. That left turn near the gas station? You shouldn't have made it. Yet you did, and here you are.
Shit!
An unpleasant situation indeed. But this doesn't have to be the end. You are given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Discord, the benevolent spirit of chaos, has offered to magnanimously save your life. You'll be able to enjoy the sounds and sights of a magical land, achieve your dreams, and experience love. All in exchange for the most trifling of trifles.
Okay. What?
Puppeteering, a few strings attached. You'll partially allow me to control your actions and look through your eyes. Just for a while. It'll be so much fun. The places we can go, the things we could do. And once you get boring, as you inevitably will, you can continue being you full time.
I don't know, mate. It sounds fishy.
Well, you do remember the whole about to vanish into oblivion thing, right? You, a virgin, who bursts in highs each time someone remotely handsome walks nearby, are refusing Discord's offer? Frankly, if it wasn't for your accident, you'd probably die a crazy cat lady whom everyone talks about behind her back. But if your mind's made up...
Hold on, I didn't say that. Just give me a bloody moment to think. So, this puppeteering thing is just for a while, right? And nothing creepy, eh?
You are ashamed you even thought of that. It's obvious that Discord has only your best interests at heart. Frankly, you're being quite rude and insulting. Maybe you deserve to.
Okay, sheesh. Give a girl a break, will you? I accept your bloody deal.
You just made the best decision in your life. It's all upwards and onwards from here. Welcome to Anon, land of magic, romance, and talking ponies.
Talking what? You bloody lying!
Everything around you goes black. The smell of burnt ice cream fills your nostrils. At first, you try to ignore it, believing it to be a trick of the mind or a remnant of last night's dream. The smell of sugary mustard, however, quickly changes your mind. Cautiously, you crack an eye open. You're in a room you've never seen before, without a clue how you got there. Thinking about it, you can't remember anything about your past either. It's almost as if a dark veil has...
What? Bollocks! I know exactly what happened!
What you do remember is the arrangement you made with the most benevolent deity after your unexpected arrival to Equestria.
You? Benevolent? You're a liar and the bloody spirit of chaos!
The same arrangement that spared you from a painful death due to magic radiation poisoning. The same arrangement that saved you from your miserable existence of an overstressed, underpaid corporate slave living in the crowded apartment of a boring world. Come to think of it, you're overjoyed by this unexpected turn of events. Ending up in a magical land has provided you with a fresh start, a chance to achieve your dreams, fame, riches, a boyfriend, or girlfriend, whichever one. You still aren't too sure on that part.
The world is full of horses, you bloody twit! You're raving, you think
You suddenly remember that you also have the power to transform any stallion or mare of your choice into a sickeningly bipedal form for an evening, if you so desire. The thought makes you relax, filling you with a sense of calm. You slide your hand along the bed. Its softness startles you. Glancing down, you see that's not some torn mattress you're lying on, but a real, 100% pure, Pegasus-certified cloud. Your body tingled at the thought of how much fun you can have in one of these, assuming you play your cards right. Being given all this, and more, for the low price of having a benevolent deity influence your actions is definitely a sweet deal, and you know it. Go on. Enjoying a few more seconds of softness, you pull yourself out of bed. The wastes of cloth you call clothes are lumped on the ceiling. After a yawn and a long stretch, you grab your shirt, then head off to take a shower. You don't need to bother with directions. Once again, thanks to the supreme powers of the Spirit of Chaos, all you need to do is open a door, any door, to arrive at your destination. You gaze at the majestic bathroom full of marble statues depicting Discord's glory. A medium-sized cloud hangs in the middle of the room. Impressed beyond belief, you take off your clothes and go under the cloud. The moment you do, water starts pouring over you.
Bloody hell!
The water felt surprisingly good. Much better than what you're used to. You poke your head out of the cloud shower, searching for a bar of soap, when you suddenly are eye to eye with an extremely surprised gray mare wearing a purple bow tie.
Excuse me, what exactly are you doing in my bathroom?
Quickly, you reach out to grab a towel to cover your indecency.
Hold on! Why should I be ashamed just 'cause a horse with a posh accent asks a perfectly reasonable question? Besides, there are no towels in this bloody...
A large white towel appears in your hand, large enough to cover your chest and waist. Quickly, you do so, not bothering with any other useless questions.
Discord? Why is there an alien creature in the bathroom again?
The mare's ears flick ever so slightly as she shouts into the corridor.
I thought we discussed this, and for stars' sake, please stop moving the poor thing around like a puppet.
It's not a puppet. It's an action figure. And it volunteered.
Discord? Please!
The mare gives you a somewhat unconvinced look.
Thanks, love,
you say, blissfully unaware of your incomprehensible look. According to the terms of the contract, you are not to get free speech until after you become boring. However, because of the mayor's request...
What's that, Gov? Troubles with the missus?
You, of course, realize that free speech once granted could be taken away again. Just something to keep in mind.
Sorry about the bathroom, love.
You rightly apologize to the mayor.
Wasn't my idea and all.
That's quite alright.
She smiles.
Discord could be a hoofful at times, but he's a sweetheart. Why don't you explain things over a nice cup of tea and some breakfast?
Lovely. You nod, then wrapping yourself tightly in a towel, following her downstairs. The steps feel slightly cold to touch, but you endure, making a note to be nice to your hosts. Reaching the end of the staircase, a majestic living room extends before you. Miles and miles of checkered carpet continue in every direction up to the walls you assume are somewhere beyond the horizon. A giant table of white...
Discord, dear, could you be ever so kind as to shrink the living room back to normal? I think there's no need to confuse our guests more than you already have.
Before your very eyes, the endless vastness shrinks to the confines of a small, comfortable room. Nothing but the basics. A table, a couch, and the most spectacular armchair you have seen in your entire life. Relaxing in it is the benevolent spirit of chaos himself, allowing you to bask in his glory. Upon seeing you, he smiles, gesturing for you to take a seat at the table, across the couch, on the tiny wooden stool.
Please, join me on the couch,
the gray mare says as she climbs on.
But Octi's sweetness, the couch should be for you. Surely you don't want to get any of that biped's germs on your beautiful coat.
Discord, please.
The mayor frowns at him.
Let us at least try to act civilized.
She sits on one end, allowing you to go beside her. However, considering the circumstances, you choose to go to the other side of the table and...
Discord! You know I'm as supportive of your hobbies as decently as possible, but I cannot accept you depriving the poor soul of her free will.
Ooh, boy, good catch, mate. Absolutely love your wife.
For a brief moment, you are reminded that the benevolent Discord will be keeping an eye on you. That said, you take your seat on the couch.
Apologies for the dreadful ordeal you've been through.
The mayor offers you a cup of tea. You take it, glancing at the rich orange texture as you do. There is no way of telling what it's made of, but if the smell is any indication, it's minty, sweet, with a faint aroma of oranges.
Green tea with mint and orange peels. I do hope you like it.
She then lifts her cup in delightful fashion and takes an elegant sip.
Oh, but where are my manners? I'm Octavia Melody.
You begin, but find that you don't want to share your name. It's a horrible name, entirely not worth mentioning. Augustina.
Really?
Octavia's ears twitch.
That's remarkable.
Or Anon for short.
What the heck?
You suddenly remember the reason you agreed to Discord's offer. Not the accident that brought you here, but the hidden deep desire that kept you crying at night in the hopes of...
Anon for short. I just love being anonymous here.
You look around, not exactly sure where here is.
Equestria. You see, Octi, Anon has come here for a very important reason. A matter of life or death, actually.
A large grin forms on his face, sending chills down your spine.
Oh?
Octavia looks at you, head tilting to the side.
Well, yeah.
You feel uncomfortably hot. Your cheeks suddenly start to burn.
Right. That thing.
You take a gulp of your tea, hoping to come up with a not-so-embarrassing explanation.
She's searching for a boyfriend.
Discord says loudly, making you choke, spitting tea all over the table.
Bloody hell!
You jump to your feet, your face glowing like a red dwarf. You open your mouth to say something, but only stuttering comes out.
I understand.
Octavia nods sagely, then pours you another cup of tea.
It took me ages to get someone to notice me as well.
She gives the Draconicus a sharp glare.
If there's anything we could do to help...
Is precisely the reason I brought her here.
Discord snaps his fingers. Posters of stallions appear all over the walls. Judging by the camera angles, you could tell they must be the most eligible bachelors in Equestria. For some reason, you don't seem at all impressed. Not to worry, though, for Discord snaps his fingers, and the stallions are replaced by human males, hunks of your wildest dreams. Drool appears in the corner of your mouth.
I bloody hate you.
You might think that, yet you keep staring, unable to look away. You actually consider asking the benevolent spirit if he'd lend you the posters. For anesthetic and art reasons, of course.
That's marvelous!
Octavia claps her hooves.
Maybe you should let nature run its course. Last time you tried to play Cupid, things didn't turn out as expected.
Huh?
You look at Octavia, then at Discord.
What happened last time?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Discord waves a paw dismissively, at which both you and Octavia narrow your eyes.
Look, all's well that ends well, right? Besides, he's happily married to her sister now. That's what counts, right?
Dear, the point was for Flitter to get a cult friend, something she still hasn't managed to this day.
For some inexplicable reason, you find that statement somewhat alarming. Logic, of course, suggests it's a one-time fluke.
So, Anon,
Octavia turns to you.
what type of stallions do you prefer?
You shuffle slightly at the question, trying to discreetly glance at the posters on the wall. You strongly suspect that your action is noticed, but Octavia has the decency not to point it out.
Are those wings?
You ask, gaping at them like a puppy at a snack.
I see.
Octavia giggles into her hoof.
Pegasitis then. Any thoughts of?
Octavia, sweetie, maybe not set the bar too high.
Discord snaps his fingers once more. All of the posters vanish, replaced by a single giant portrait of a light blue maned orange Pegasus. Of course, you see a half-naked athletic hunk with short blue hair and wings.
At present, Anon would appreciate setting her sights on something attainable.
Dear, are you sure?
Octavia's ears twitch noticeably.
I'm not sure if that's...
Her voice trails off, but you aren't even listening. Your eyes cannot leave the portrait. Blue hair and wings. It's truly a match made in heaven. You feel your pulse hasten as your cheeks start to burn.
Well, who am I to judge?
Precisely. I'm sure that Anon will have a great time. Right?
You utter, then down your tea in a single gulp. Seems that your deal wasn't a mistake after all. You try to return to casual behavior, have some biscuits, comment on life in Equestria, compliment your hosts, and possibly even engage in useless small talk. Your attempts fail miserably, as you only mutter a few unintelligible words, still focusing on the blue-haired's muscles.
Flash Sentry. One of the most discussed guards in Equestria. A lieutenant in the Crystal Royal Guard, he once caught the eye of Princess Twilight herself.
I can see why.
You whisper to Octavia, who only offers an uncomfortable smile in return.
Indeed.
Discord grins, rubbing his forelimbs together.
A bit of a recluse lately, and currently single. Actually, due to certain misconceptions, he's probably ready to go out with any.
Discord?
Octavia interrupts, darting a warning glance at him.
Anon! He's ready to go out with Anon!
Drops of sweat trickle down his face, but you're too preoccupied with the portrait to notice.
Ready to see him now?
Wait, what? The bloody hell I am! I can't just walk up to him wrapped in a towel. He'd think I'm daft.
You consider some stallions, or people, would find that preferable, actually. Not to mention that the majority of inhabitants of Equestria are, for the lack of a better word, buck naked. While you wonder, you feel a hoof gently rest on your shoulder. Octavia reassures you with a smile and a nod. You, however, still feel quite nervous.
Ah, Ziff. Just 'cause he has blue hair and wings doesn't mean I'll...
Your surroundings suddenly change. The comfortable room is replaced by more nature you have seen in your life. Green grass tickles your feet. A fresh breeze blows through your hair. The smell of...
Have you gone bonkers? I'm freaking naked in the middle of a bloody park.
Of course. You know that you can simply snap with your fingers and change your clothes anytime you want. You also make a note to pay more attention to the specifics of your arrangement with a benevolent Discord.
Oh, snap my fingers, eh? Thanks, Gov.
You snap your fingers. To your amazement, the towel you are wearing is instantly replaced by a new set of clothes. That is, if by new you mean the same set of rags you've been wearing for years. Skinny torn jeans, hipster black, of course, vintage AD&D blouse you got from a flea market, and the worst gray sneakers in 2 realities. It could have been worse, you tell yourself. Then again, this is just a minor issue. As they say, it's not the clothes that bring out the charm. You pass your fingers through your hair. It's been ages since you've done that. Instinctively, you tilt your head backwards, trying to achieve the alluring pose you've seen on all the fashion magazine covers. There's no way of telling how successful you are, since there are no mirrors anywhere around. Maybe it's passable, or maybe it's a complete disaster. You never know. It's not like anyone is watching.
Hey there!
You hear a polite male voice behind you. It seemed there was someone watching after all.
Oh, bloody kill ya!
Stiff as a living marionette, you start to turn around. Halfway there, you catch a glimpse of a stallion. Orange and blue blur your vision as you start to hyperventilate.
This isn't good!
You think, as you desperately try to snap yourself as far away as possible. Not that it would work, even if you had the power to do so. Your hands are so sweaty that you can't even produce a proper snap. You could always use your legs to run off, you consider, but then you'd be missing this 1 in 1,000 chance you might never have again.
Haven't seen you around. Are you new?
Your worst fears has come true. It is Flash Sentry, and he's less than 10 steps away. Your heart feels like it's about to burst.
You okay? You seem a bit lost.
He halves the distance with wide strides, moving his wings as he walks. Your heart explodes. A wave of blood rushes to your face and cheeks. You squeak, smiling like an idiot who's about to faint. Your hands are literally shaking, so you move them behind your back. Your mind is blank, completely deprived of words. The only things you could think of are his magnificent wings, his wild blue mane, his... You really are bad at this, aren't you?
Give me a break, you josser! And weren't you supposed to help me or something?
You regain your composure, pushing all the stupid fantasies out of your mind. Then take a few steps towards him. Flash is still smiling, looking at you with interest. Bipeds aren't too common in this part of Equestria, and despite what you might think of yourself, you have good features. Also, thanks to a touch of chaos, he can imagine you as a mare, so all's fine. Now is the time to win him over with a few well-placed pickup lines. You say, making Flash tilt his head slightly. His ears turn your direction, acknowledging you have his full attention. Your mouth moves, yet no sound comes out. Good move, though. The strange behavior has intrigued Flash to the extent that he takes a step forward. A perfect opportunity for you to pass your hand through that charming blue mane of his and...
No bloody way I'm doing that! Bloody heck! I think I'll be sick! Or faint!
Pathetic is a life goal you can only aspire to achieve, it seems. You are aware we're talking about patting a horse, right?
A bloody, flying, talking horse that I can transform into a bloody dream pie? No! No way in heck I'm going on with this! Thanks for the eye candy and all, but now just zap me back to your crib or wherever.
Hey there! You smile, waving your hair.
Sorry, you surprised me. I didn't expect anyone to be here.
You approach him and then gently slide your fingers along his muzzle, moving upwards.
Don't you bloody dare!
Playfully, you scratch the spot behind his ear, moving on to stroke his mane. It's quite different from what you've seen on TV. There's a sensation of touching, for one thing.
I'll kill you! How could you do this to me? I just walked to him and started... Heck, this scared me off floating even! Just get me out of here, now, please!
You do notice he's extended his head a bit. Oh, he might be trying to hide it, but that and the semi-opened wings are telltale signs that he finds the action rather enjoyable, be it a bit surprising.
Maybe I could stay just a bit longer.
You're quite straightforward.
Flash pulls away. With some effort, you can only hope. Even in this form, he's quite charming. His uniform looks a bit silly, though. Definitely not something you'd wear if he were a mayor. Not that you'd ever be, of course.
Wanna come by the pond? Much more relaxing. I like to go there when I want to think about things.
What the bloody heck do I do?
I'd love to. Calm and collected, you follow Flash as he leads you to this mysterious location. On the inside, you are freaking out like a little girl.
I'd never asked you your name.
A lie, of course, but he doesn't know that.
Hey, that was my line.
He laughs, turning his head around. For the slightest of moments, you think you almost saw him wink.
Flash Sentry. Your turn.
Oh, just Anon.
You try to resist the urge to touch his wings. It's unbecoming, inappropriate, rude, and totally something you should do. You quicken your pace, then without warning, place your hand upon his wing. Flash freezes. For 2 full seconds, he stands there like a deer in the headlights.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't stop myself.
You offered an apology, yet don't remove your hand.
That's just so beautiful.
Fortunately for you, Flash doesn't seem to be listening. Otherwise, he had laughed at your ridiculously lame comment.
Tough, 'cause they are. Also, they're soft. Silky soft.
I get that a lot.
Flash takes the compliment as any stallion would.
Though, warn me about that next time, okay? Guard reflexes and all. I don't want to hurt someone as nice as you by accident.
Right, he was a guard or something.
You briskly pull back your hand. Your entire face feels hot all of a sudden. And it's not because of the sun. Funny how just a moment ago you were terrified of touching his mane and now you can't keep your hands off him. Well, there might be hope for you yet.
Shut up!
There's no telling if Flash wants to impress you or is really bad at directions, but you end up in a small cafe at the edge of the Crystal Empire. Not a bad place by the looks of it. Crystal tables, crystal chairs, crystal menus, everything's made of crystal. You vaguely remember muttering an agreement to his offer to treat you to a bite, but it's all a bit foggy. That's what you get for staring at his wings non-stop.
Please.
Flash invites you to take a seat. You do so, accidentally brushing against his wing in the process. Clearly, you have a serious thing for wings now, and it hasn't even been an hour since you arrived in Equestria.
Quit it!
Great view, right?
Flash asks, then gives a nod to the waiter.
In the morning, you can see the entire palace shine. Sunsets are better, though.
You bury your face in the menu, trying not to look like an infatuated college girl. The dishes offered made no sense, but you could tell by the prices that Flash had brought you to a pretty cheap place.
Hey, lay off the guy.
He's nice.
So, tell me about yourself.
He asks the most boring question ever. It's refreshing hearing it from someone else. Now, for the first time, you get to experience how terrible it sounds.
First time away from home?
No. You close the menu. It's time to add a little character to your persona. Some exciting and exotic backstory, as it were. I've crossed several dimensions and seen more cultures than I could count. Technically, that's not even a lie. Back on Earth, you did experience over a dozen different cultures. All of them in the same shopping mall.
Nothing as good as this place.
Wow.
He swishes his tail. Good going, Anon. If this were a dating simulator, you'd be halfway there. You're just about to make another brilliant comment when the waiter places a crystal vase with flowers in front of you.
Wow, Flash.
You take a deep whiff. The aroma is strong as perfume, sweet with a slight bittery aftersmell.
They are lovely.
You take one and place it behind your ear. The sound of a dozen shattering glasses makes you turn around. A waitress pony is staring at you, mouth ajar. Beside you, the waiter who brought the vase is staring at you, his face twisted in adulterated shock. Even Flash shuffles uncomfortably in his seat.
Is anything wrong?
Anon?
Flash points to your ear.
That's supposed to... Maybe just some water?
He asks the waiter, who is all too eager to rush away, leaving you two alone. Great job, Anon. You seem to have completely forgotten what composes a pony's diet. Flowers, like pastries, are edible. The bouquet you were served was actually the entree, and you put it behind your ear. Quite scandalous, to say the least.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You feel your cheeks blush. Don't you feel like an idiot? By nightfall, you'll probably be the talk of the Crystal Empire.
Hey, it's okay.
Flash stands and goes to you, placing a gentle wing over your shoulders.
Accidents happen. That's where the fun lies.
He drops a few brass coins on the table.
Come on, let's go.
In your mind, you faint a dozen times. The scene is too perfect, just like the prince you've always dreamed of, taking you away into the wilderness. You immediately follow his lead, allowing yourself to be swept off the chair. Before you know it, the two of you are laughing as you run to nowhere in particular, the buildings of the city behind you. With a snap of your fingers, you remove your shoes, enjoying the feel of grass under your feet. The two of you continue for hours, running until your legs are too tired to continue, and the smell of Swedish sweat has overwhelmed your nostrils. Exhausted, you stop at the pool, falling to the ground. Nearly a minute, you just lay there, catching your breath, smiling, dreaming.
It's almost sunset.
You can see he's already sitting at the edge of the pond, inches away from the water. He doesn't say he wants you to join him, but the way his left wing twitches, it's more than clear. Letting out a girlish giggle, you oblige, snuggling against him. His coat feels surprisingly soft, warm, still wet with sweat from all that running. You don't mind one bit, pressing against him even more. Barely a second later, you feel his soft wing relax along your back and shoulders, covering you like a cloak.
You really are something, you know?
You whisper, just loud enough for him to hear. Flash remains silent, yet you feel the wings embrace gently tighten.
I broke up with my mare friend 3 weeks ago.
Your heart skips a beat. Now you know that he's single and looking for a rebound. All you had to do is seal the deal without messing up. A strong, tingly feeling passes through your entire body. Now you are in complete control of your actions. You have the power to do something memorable or make the biggest mistake of your life.
Wanna hook up?
Your boldness surprises even you.
There are a million ifs in the past, but the present's only got one. So, why not make the best of it?
Quite a deep thought, and definitely not unnoticed. Flash looks at you like one of those fashion models of the magazine you used to hoard under your bed back home. Your breathing increases, bringing you to the verge of hyperventilation. Your heart is beating so hard that it feels like it will burst out of your chest. He opens his mouth to say something, yet you never give him the chance. Snapping your fingers, you transform the Pegasus into a blue-haired, orange-winged human angel, conveniently only wearing boxer shorts, and land a kiss right on his lips.
Technically, it's not evening yet.
You hear a voice in your mind as the kiss intensifies and Flash embraces you with both arms and wings.
But what the heck? I'll let it slide. It's bound to be evening somewhere. Am I right?
You don't bother replying, wrapping your own arms round the muscular body of your first successful date. Not a bad job, Anon, considering. Apparently, dreams can come true. At this point, there's only one thing left to wonder. Once the fun is over and morning arrives, where will you wake up?